coaches and pros, the X's and O's. This is the best what we do, what we know. So let's go. Yo, what's up, y'all? Back with another one, man. Grinding. I know I'm gone all week, so I gotta leave y'all something with something for y'all. Know, for the algae, for the algorithm to keep. You know what I'm saying? And that way, y'all always getting something from me every day, right? Every day of the week, y'all getting something from me. So make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe, because I'm working, y'all. You know what I'm saying? These ain't little 10-minute videos. I'm not chimping y'all out. You know what I mean? I'm giving y'all me. Plus, on top of it, I probably went live. You know what I mean, with Raw throughout the week. So you get me live, and you get and you got some videos. So if you ain't became a member yet, become a player. You can become a GM. You know what I'm saying? Support the boy. Support me, man. I'm out here grinding, man. I ain't gonna do nothing but give it to Law Dog anyway, but it is what it is. That's just a fact, you know what I'm saying? I'm just so real. Sometimes it's too real, and it's just crazy, you know what I mean? But that's me. That's who I am, and y'all make me feel that way. So thank y'all for opening me up out here on the internet. I owe y'all that. Not only because of my channel grown, but I'm more comfortable with being myself out here, and it's a great wonderful thing that I'm part of a whole family out here that isn't family. I appreciate y'all. I really do, man. I really appreciate y'all. So I have no problem with y'all becoming a member to watch the videos. You just get the cheapest thing. I think it's like $2 to do it. If you really want to support, though, have no problem with hitting the Cash App, Truckin' Chubby. That's the Cash App. I don't put it down there because I don't really like the beg, but I just rather tell y'all, if y'all want to support, hit the Cash App. Anything that you want to give, it's welcome. I appreciate y'all for that too. Also, for sure. All right. So like, I want to get into this, and I'm gonna play this video. And I'm trying to set up an actual show to do live with Raw on this subject, but I'm gonna play it and then I'll get up into it.
Imagine in college football, the top two conferences left and went on their own, and the United States was split right down the middle, shared only by the Big Ten and the SEC. Plenty money to be made with a merge such as this. Would this be a logistical nightmare? Could this work? How would they place the teams? Where would they fit? Well, stay tuned, because here on a fan's point of view, we're going to place them. Gonna enjoy it.
Well, so I actually did a live on that. Y'all probably can search all the way down somewhere in there on my YouTube channel. I wound up doing that particular show by myself. Shad couldn't make it, but I had a hell of a time placing teams where they needed to go. I should have put a lot more thought into that. That actually is very hard to do. I didn't make it so simple. I didn't make it simple, right? I just didn't take the 16 and 16 teams and just you say, okay, I'm gonna just take the 2 16 teams, make it 32 and call it what it is, right? I didn't think like that. I actually took all the teams throughout. They just took over every single conference, right? Every Power 5 conference. They took over every Power 5 conference, and out of all the Power 5 conferences, that Big Ten and SEC split up those teams. Now, if I had taken the 16 teams they have now in both conferences and just said, okay, we're going to start our own league, and whoever wants to join to make an even number can do so, right? You know what I mean? And I didn't think about it like that. So it's all over the place, but you're more than welcome to check it out. You know what I'm saying? I did as best as I could on that. I enjoyed doing it. It's one of my earlier videos, but it's definitely down there. And I definitely did it the live. So yeah, if y'all want to check it out, you're more than welcome to. But that's the video, and just to think about that and a way, right? Like, so first off, the Big Ten, just like I was saying in the other video, the Big Ten is pretty much already taken over the top half of the United States. The SEC just didn't push over into New Mexico and Arizona yet. And so and Southern Cal is already with the Big Ten. The Big Ten has already made that power move. They already told the SEC you're not getting Southern California. See, and the ACC said, okay, well, guess what? You're not getting Northern Cali. But when you think about it, SC and UCLA, you got Southern Cal, Middle Cal. You can have Northern Cal. I don't care about Northern Cal. You know what I'm saying? I think Stanford. I'm not sure, but I think Stanford's Northern California, right? That's the more towards the Northern California area. But if you think about it, the Big Ten has already started doing this. They've already done it. They got Southern California, California, Oregon, Washington, Iowa, Michigan, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Maryland. Wow. If they start pushing Virginia, but you may have a problem. You may have and Rutgers is pretty much the New Jersey area. Rutgers, that's the New Jersey area. Vermont, New Hampshire, a lot of those got kids. Like, they go there. I mean, Maine, the Black Bears, it's very cold up Maine, but if Maine can kind of if their facility, if they change their curriculum, then I'm sure that people will start going there, and they'll probably be able to come part of the Big Ten. But that's the dream, though, is to get that, and they already have that. So those recruiting, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, a lot of the best talent from there. Maybe you want to go to Rutgers, they wind up in PA, and you know what I mean, Virginia area, all over really, but those areas, they pretty much have that on lock. And the same thing for the SEC. The same thing for the SEC, but now a lot of some of the best Florida talent is going up to the Big Ten. Some of the best Texas talent is going to the Big Ten. A lot of the California talent is still in the Big Ten, but it's not in California. And that's a problem, right? So now but if and this merger may happen, like they already have the upper hand, but they have to get ahead of this NIL thing. If the SEC and the Big Ten does not get a handle on their own universities, and they allow the NCAA to regulate this before they can get up on a handle and come up with their own governor, and I'm sure they already has it set, but they gotta stay ahead of the game, because I feel like the NCAA is letting this thing go wild west, because with no brakes, this is a car rolling down the hill with no brakes right now, just waiting to crash, just waiting to hit something, and when it hit, it's going to hit hard, it's going to implode, and then the NCAA is going to be there with their plan that they already have in place, instead of these universities already coming together. And for the most part, I think the Big Ten and the SEC universities already have a plan. Is why they're like picking and choosing on the teams they want to bring into their conferences. Number one, they're not just bringing in anybody. Let's make that clear. They're not bringing in programs that you can look at and say that are G5 program. No. You wouldn't say UCLA is a G5 program. No. You wouldn't say SC is a G5 program. No. Oregon. No. Washington. No. So the Big Ten just added 4 Power 4 schools. 4. The SEC, you can see, Texas and Oklahoma were in the Big 12. The Big 12 picked from the G5 to spread out their conference, but in the same sense, Texas and Oklahoma were never really looked at as being that. They were never looked at as being that. They just never were. Right? Because they always got the best talent. And the SEC took the best of the Big 12 and brought them over to the SEC to make it more powerful. And that was a very good power move, because had they not done that, I think the Big 10 had their eyes on Texas. The Big 10 had their eyes on Texas. Believe it or not, they had their eyes on Texas. Boy, did they have it. It just made more sense for Oklahoma and Texas to do that. And I think that they're working in collaboration, and they're saying we can absolutely do that. And y'all see at the beginning of that video, the way that I made that map. I made that map, just pretty much the North, Big 10, South of the Mason-Dixon, all SEC. Can Arizona and Arizona State turn into a true Power 5 conference, a team? Can they do that? But can they get that top talent? Because I think the SEC has to be eyeing Arizona and Arizona State, one of those two, if not both, for the rivalry of Arizona to get those teams. They gotta be eyeing them hard. They gotta be. You know what I mean? They gotta be eyeing and seeing what Arizona's doing. And Arizona State right now is taking off. Arizona State is ahead of Arizona right now, in my opinion. As far as balling, as far as the culture right there, I think Kenny Dillaham's doing good. The Big 12 had to snatch something up. They're just hanging on by a thread. They really are. They're hanging on by a thread right now. I think so. They just made a new deal and everything, but the biggest deals are coming from the SEC and the Big 10 right now. They're getting paid a tremendous amount of money. There's a tremendous amount of money flowing through there, and so much to be made with them merging into this league, and they can do it. They can do it, but will it take away from college football? And in a sense, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Because if you think about it, those are the most watched football games in America right now, period, point blank. There's not a Big 10 SEC game that you're not watching. And if the Big 10 and SEC decided to start taking their non-conference games and playing them against each other, those become the most watched TV football games on TV. And they can really monopolize the league. They can really do it. But it's pretty much already been done now. So I think that's something that we'll probably see in the future. I don't think that that's too far off, because after this television deal is done, I don't know when it's done. I think, what is it, 2029, 30, 2030, 2029 is when most of these television deals is up with most of these universities. They're going to be wanting a big check. They're going to be wanting a big check. And I honestly don't know if they're going to be able to meet them with that, because with that criteria, because you got to remember the Big 10 network. Yeah, there's some games that come on the Big 10 network, like it may be Northwestern versus Illinois, Northwestern versus Rutgers. Those games come on in the SEC network. You get Mississippi State versus Vanderbilt, or you know what I mean? Like you get those kind of games. However, Vanderbilt had a good year, so they wound up being on TV a little bit, and some of these games get picked up because they pick and choose what games they want. Because if they're having a good year, like Vandy, okay, we want Vandy on TV. Vandy's much watched TV right now. That's part of the deals that they have with these TV networks. They pick the games that they want on there. Sometimes games change. Some games get put on TV. Some games go to the Big Ten or SEC networks. But if the SEC network and Big Ten network were to play the Michigan and Georgia game, every college football fan is going to say, oh, it's not on CBS, it's not on ABC, it's not on ESPN. Where's it on? It's on the Big Ten network. We're going to watch it. It's on the Big Ten SEC network. We're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. That's a fact. That is a fact. We're going to watch it. And they do have enough money to say and to make the Big Ten network and the SEC network local in your areas. They have that, you know what I mean? Like, so if you're up north, you'll probably have the Big Ten network as a local channel. They have the money to broadcast that locally. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. In each conference, there is a school for communications, such as broadcasting and so forth and so on. And both conferences, there's those schools that have programs such as that. They have the manpower, because sooner or later, students will become employees. And when students become employees, when that revenue share kicks in, what's to stop a journalist at said university that's in the Big Ten or the SEC to say, I'm not going to start, okay, I'm going to subsidize my own company. I'm going to take my entity, make it a subsidiary of the college, and now I can go and film the football game or going to interview the players at the lockers or whatever and still make money off my YouTube channel. But it's still going, the school uses the footage, but I'm still able to put it on my channel. School uses it for their footage. I'm traveling. I'm making a bucks. It gives people guaranteed jobs straight out of college, if not in college, where that's what you're going to school for. It's like they got the power to do it. So these networks, ESPN and everybody else, they gotta pay. You gotta pay me what I want. You gotta give me what I want. We are must-watch football. But there's so much to go into this. And I just wanted to really just speak on it in a dream state scenario. I don't know if any of this is to be right, but I'm pretty damn sure that I'm on the right track with this. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty damn sure. And see, and this is the kind of conversations that I spark up. This is the way that my mind works creatively. To say things like that, to do things like this, such as this. But I definitely would like to link up, and like I said, y'all, I'm gonna try to get up with Rawhide and a couple others and see if we can actually make this a actual live show and see if we can put these teams and categorize them. Because I tried to do it by myself and it was very hard. It was very hard. But I mean, now I got a better idea of these teams. When you got that like that, boy, oh boy, this could be something. This could really end up being something, man. This could actually end up being something. And I don't, and in the next 5 or the next 6, 7 years, this possibly can happen, man. And they got all the upper hand and all the rights to do so. And I mean, and who cares? You know what I mean? And who cares if they break off from the NCAA? We're still gonna watch them, and then that just means that some other schools that are not in the SEC or the Big Ten, are going to possibly pop up and be the biggest. Of course, the NCAA probably will try to put their foot in and try to stop it, but at that point, at this point in time, I don't think that you can do it. The biggest brands, the best teams are always going to be in the Big Ten and the SEC because of the recruits that they get, the things that they can provide. And if you're smart, Michael Jordan, Michigan smartened up, got sponsored by Jordan. Now everything's Jordan. I mean, you can buy Jordans. Granted, you can buy Jordans. You can buy Air Maxes. But why buy it when it's free? That's how the rich stay rich. Why would I want to go and buy a pair of $250 shoes when my school gives them to me for free because we're sponsored by them? You know what I mean? Why would I go and buy a $300 Jordan sweatsuit when I get it free from the athletic department because of my scholarship? Like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no point of that. And some people like Jordan brand, some people like the Nike brand. Granted, some people like the Adidas brand. Adidas is trying to make a run at it too. But that's the thing. And that's all I wanted to say, y'all. I just kind of wanted to give y'all a little bit of insight on that and that the moves that they actually can make. But y'all just want y'all to just get the conversation started a little bit down there in the comments. You know what I mean? Let me know how y'all feel about this. Give me some more, creative ways that maybe this could run. You know what I mean? This the ways that it could work. Why wouldn't it work? You know what I mean? How whatever. Let's get the conversation started because this is something that this conversation can go on forever. But we do know that for a fact that those two are the top dogs when it comes to college football. That is a fact. We do know that. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, subscribe button. Appreciate it, y'all. Truck and Chubby is up out of here. Peace.